Fifth class, open up page 74 of your Visit Maths. So here we have our decimals, right? So we have blocks, these are full blocks. So they're 10 by 10 by 10, so there are 1,000 cubes in here altogether, 1,000 single cubes. Okay, so if we want a whole fraction of this cube, we can say 1 over 1. What else could we say for a whole fraction? We could say 10 over 10, we could say 100 over 100, and what else could we say? 1,000 over 1,000. As long as we have the same number on top and same number on the bottom, our answer is 1, so that's the whole thing, the whole fraction of the shape. Okay, but for example, this one we have a whole row and a whole column. So we have 10 by 10, which is 100. Okay, so it should be 100 over 1,000. Okay, but look at all those zeros. We don't need all those there. They just get us confused. So we can knock off these zeros. Okay, so if we knock off the 2 zeros, because we have a 1 then, we can't knock off the 1. So if we knock off 2 zeros on top, we can knock off 2 zeros on the bottom, and we get 1 over 10. Okay, and that's what we have here, 1 over 10. And that as a decimal is 0.1. Same thing over here. So we have one row of one column, right? So we have 10 out of, how many altogether? 1,000. Now how many zeros can we knock off here? Only 1, isn't it? So can we get rid of 1 there? So we're going to get rid of 1 at the bottom. We get 1 over 100. Alright? So that's the fraction of this shape that we have. Okay? And as a decimal, that's 0.01. And then here, very easy, it's 1 out of 1,000 cubes, alright? So we have to write the correct fraction and decimal fraction of the full block that we have in red here. So we're counting the whole block, but this time we're just counting the red part, right? So it's still coming out of the whole 1,000 cube, right? So we have 2 rows, we have all the columns, alright? So we're talking about rows. So we're going to go to this one, aren't we? Because we're talking about rows. So how many rows do we have? Here we only have 1 row. Here we have 2 rows, alright? Now when we're talking about rows and columns, we have 10, right? 10. Now what's that as a decimal fraction? 2/10. We can do this ourselves. So we know it's going to be 0 point something. So how many decimal places do we go back for a tenth? So we have units, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So it's the first one, isn't it? So 0.2, right? Very simple. So you can do the rest with those, and these will be what? And these will be, and these will be, so very easy for you, right? Okay, so now we have to draw the following fractions with as few blocks as possible. So we're trying to use as few blocks as possible. Okay, so we're trying not to write out 1 cube each time, trying to write out the smallest one possible. So for example, what we can do here is instead of drawing out all of them, what I want you to do is just do 1 single long one and then write by 4 here, for example. So 1 long one by 4, and then we have 1 long one across, okay, and back, okay, by 3, right? So you see how I've done that? So instead of drawing out 4 different ones and one of these, just draw out 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. Okay, so because it means the exact same thing. So it's 34 over 100. So we know it's definitely 0 point something. 0 point. What comes first? So in the 10th spot comes in the 3. So 3 goes in the 10th spot. And in the 100th spot, we have our 4. So this is very easy, right? So do the exact same with all of these. The exact same as that one. And then for the last one here, we have to fill in the fractions and match each to the correct decimal fraction. So we have our fraction here, we have 2 whole cubes. And how many of these we have? These are, what again? These are tenths. And other hundreds, aren't they? Hundredths. So these are hundreds because they're only one row of one column. Okay, so how many do we have? We have 3. So 3 100ths. Do we have that down here somewhere? So we have 2.3, no. No, because we have to have the whole 2. No. Is that one correct? Yes, it is. So we matched up here. Okay, very simple. So all you have to do in your copy, don't have to draw this, just write down 2 and 3 over 100 and then equals to 2.03. Right? So all you have to do, that's all you have to do for the this question, right? So don't have to draw out this in your copy, just draw right out this one, right? Very simple. Okay, so 2 and 3 over 100 is equal to 2.03. Very simple.